grab onto a ledge and go up to it, or I will get onto a surface. Should be the same here. So yeah, I would be climbing up onto the ledge, so I can make that. It's just a little indicator to help you judge your distances. I'd have to be able to get out of here if I can choose it. No powers. Oh man, this is really cool. Gift from the outsider. This must be one of his shrines.
What is that? It feels familiar.
Oh, so this is a locator from the last game. This allowed you to locate the runes, the bone charms, your objective. It allowed you to hear people's thoughts. It allowed you to see people. It was essentially your location tool. If you listened long enough, it also whispered to you. And if you listened carefully enough, you actually realize that it is Emily's mother's heart. So it's the old Empress's heart. And Emily referencing the fact that it feels familiar is because it's her mother's heart. But it's been taken by the outsider and turned into a machine for communication.
I know you.
Oh.
Do you remember? It's been so long, and you've been through so much. Even as an echo of myself, it's good to know you're there.
Mother? You're here, but you're not here. In my hand, but somewhere else.
Only the last of my essence, with you for a while. If only I could reach across this great expanse and take you into my arms. But I have this to offer. My gift and my curse. Summon me to your hand, and I will guide you when I can.
So again, it used the heart to locate runes and bone charms, and so it's the same mechanic as the last game, but that confirms that it's Emily's mother. So I love the fact that they're actually confirming the things that if you were paid attention to just little bits of lore that existed in the game, you could learn so much more. But
there are no stars in the sky here.
so yeah, you can
There
write
is no
this thing,
sky.
and you hear a little bit of advice. So if you do it over a person, you can hear about them. So yeah, I can't see this marker unless I'm holding a heart. So it allows you to pull up essentially the extras HUD markers, but without actually having HUD active all the time. So it requires you to choose between power, gun, and location. So there's something over here, but I'm assuming this is the way out of that. Locked room. Oh, that's lame. That's ridiculous. I don't like that. So I'm not going to be using that. I don't like the fact that I can lock them. It was probably something people complained about in the first one, but I enjoy the command. Being able to see the runes those are the... But these are the main characters I'll be up against.
Who is Delilah really? How could she? I don't understand.
See, the heart should be just beating up faster because I'm closer to the room.
Shouldn't be here. No one should.
So, this is Delilah. The more and more she's convinced she's the witch. This must be the crown killer. This is the Duke of prosthetic. That would be fascinating. You have to be the ghost killer, or the crown killer. But you... Skin is white. Not just... Not a human flesh color, but like actually the literal color white. You're also... You almost... Female. Interesting. Just introduction to characters. So yeah, Delilah, more and more it is Delilah from, yeah, even with the roses. She is the prior witches? There should be a rune. So yeah, this outline is only available with the heart. If I can lock it, and do I see it all the time? No. So it just locks this in all the time. I don't like that. I don't like having to choose and see. But these runes should empower my abilities. They're essentially talent points, more or less. I collect them.
There's no one quite like Delilah. I watched her pull herself up from blood and filth until she was in a position to steal from the wisest scholars in the Empire. Survival and ambition, art and magic, with a cunning that makes fawning sycophants of those around her, all of it leading to what you saw at Dunwall Tower. Delilah's playing the long game. She took all the abuse the world could deal out, and now she has a crown. But I'll let you in on a secret. She's got her eyes set on a much greater prize.
Interesting. Greater prize than the Emperor. So that was the way out. Interesting. Now,
When I was 10 years old, bored with my lessons, I dreamed about sword fighting and sailing the ocean. Now I'm realizing that the world is stranger than I ever imagined. Everything I know has been turned on its head, but I'm dealing with it the best I can. When you look at the great jeweled map at Dunwall Tower, Karnaca is the southernmost port in the Empire. A fat, red ruby. That's how I always thought of it. Up close, the city smells like the ocean and strange spices. Up close, it's a tangled story of blood and ambition. The birthplace of my father. Megan Foster is a stranger, but there's something that makes me want to trust her, despite her guarded disposition. She got me out of Dunwall, and I need answers. Delilah and the Duke made me look like a murderer, using the crown killer to butcher my political adversaries. They took what was mine, and I'm gonna get it back.
solar or wind turbines. Interesting. So we've awoken into the real world. What? Should be the no checking, but the mark remains. The heart exists.
Push out into the harsh world. You are alone, but for a few allies.
Take mine. Oh, there's a rune over here. So I should have powers now. Yes. So I have access to her power list. I'll look at that in a little bit. Letters, some lore, travelogue. So yeah, this is just essentially the mission log. Dishonored, my father's lost, turned to stone by Delilah. It's retelling the story. I'll definitely look at that if, or I end the stream and continue it on. But, letter from Emily. Wyman, by now you must have heard about the coup in Dunwall. Don't worry, I'm safe, hiding far away with friends. I implore you, don't try anything reckless and don't go back to Crystal. Stay in Morley. There's nothing you can do against Delilah. I can't say I have a solid plan yet, but you know how well I improvise in desperate situations. Remember the time I kept a straight face during the watch officers report, all the while sitting at my desk without pants. Wow. If I survive that, I'll get through all this. For now, I need to stay hidden and act alone. Trust me, we'll see each other again, I promise, Emily. So, Wayman is definitely a lover of some kind. And it is a good idea to tell him that you will not be worried. To write a log. Oh, so it's writing this. So this is quite... Oh, this is quite literally the travel log. Brilliant. You did that as well in the first game, where you'd come back and essentially recount your adventures or mission powers. So I've got Far Reach. Pull yourself rapidly across a distance. Primary means of a locomotion. Far Reach is also used for avoiding enemies. Aim the power at the ground or a structure in front of you to pull yourself forward rapidly or cast it at overhead ledges. The voice of Far Reach can be used to move through glass, breaking it. Okay, so that's a good thing to know. I can move it through glass, but it will break the glass. Upgrade Far Reach to pull enemies and objects towards you. If the power is used in stealth mode, your movement ends without further forward momentum. So yeah, I need runes to empower the upgrades. So I can pull objects. Pull objects towards you, either catching them or setting them aside and letting them fly past. Pulled resources will be added to your inventory automatically. Objects that can be carried must be grabbed manually. Pull a bottle to you from afar, then throw it in it as a distraction, or pull a whale oil tank to you, then throw it as an explosive. This is Desolate. If aiming Far Reach while falling, time slows, allowing you to move with more precision and to change directions. Or decelerate. Pull enemies. You can then assassinate or choke the enemy, or move out of the way and watch them slam into the ground or wall. That is one of the funnest things, is finding the weird combinations and things you can do. Like, Corvo had the ability to stop time. You could do so many things while you had time stopped. Like, you could get a... he also had the power to possess people. So you could have someone see you and shoot at you with a gun. Stop time, freezing the bullet and the person. And more importantly, the bullet in midair. Then you could use your possession power to enter the mind of the person, walk him around into your old position, jump out of him, and then watch him quite literally shoot himself in a different location. Dark Vision returns. Dark Vision is one of the most useful abilities I had that existed in the first one. It allows you to see people through walls, and there are also their vision cones. A pulse occurring at regular intervals will show you the directional facing and view cones of your enemies, and even enables you to see them through walls, giving you vital situational awareness for stealthy ambushes. It provides visual representations of the sound you make, further aiding in stealth and helping determine enemy awareness. It sounds like this is not as good as it was in the last one, because it's not... This Dark Vision just kind of existed and lasted a certain amount of time. This sounds like it's just occasional pips or pulses. The upgrades: greater dark vision. In addition to living beings, objects and security systems are visible through walls. Oh, brilliant. Premonition. Enemy routes and their intended destinations are now visible to you. Wow, that is super useful. So I have 2 runes. I collected 2 runes before leaving the Outsider. But what else do you have? Doppelganger summons a shade of yourself that attracts enemies. Creates a diversion and flees from enemies, drawing attention away from you. Enemies that destroy your doppelganger will believe that they have eliminated any threat in the area and will transition to a lesser area alert state. Your doppelganger will also trigger security systems and attract hostile animals, just as you would. So I'm assuming using the doppelganger will set off alerts still. But it'll still be useful if you need need that type of distraction. Baffling Shade. When your doppelganger is destroyed or disappears, it leaves behind a cloud that incapacitates enemies for a few seconds. Deadly Shade. Summon an ally by holding and releasing right-click. Your doppelganger can engage in combat with enemies or even assassinate them when undetected. So essentially it becomes literally you. Just another version of you. Transposition. Target your own doppelganger and press F to swap places. Also useful. Summon 2 doppelgangers of yourself. Wow, you could just... That would be terrifying to run. It's like, it's like, oh, it's just one person. Boop, there are 2. Oh no, boop, there are 3. Shadow Walk. Assume a stealthier form for a short time. During Shadow Walk, your visibility is reduced, making it harder for enemies to detect you. Don't get too close, however. Moving shadow will still arouse suspicion. You can assassinate or incapacitate one enemy before returning to physical form. Oh, this is almost like Possession. Rat Shadows. Rat Shadows opens up new pathways. While in stealthier form, you can pass through rat tunnels, which can lead you to remote areas and also allows you to bypass hostile encounters. So, Corvo can use Possession to possess rats and fish and different types of animals, allowing you to bypass a lot of stuff by using Possession. Using Possession on an animal caused its death. It pretty much exploded when you stopped possessing them. The animal itself couldn't cope with being possessed with you and explodes upon expiration of the possession. Humans just got disoriented, unless you upgraded it, which then they would... I think they killed themselves because of the possession. Improve shadow attack. You can incapacitate up to 2... Assassinate or incapacitate up to 2 enemies before returning to physical form. This makes you faster. This allows you to do 3. Also useful. Domino. Link human targets so they will die or fall unconscious together. Domino links 2 human targets. While the power is active, any action taken affects all linked targets. For instance, quickly incapacitating multiple enemies using a single sleep dart, reducing their risk of alarm, or kill multiple linked enemies simultaneously if not outnumbered in a fight. Combine Domino with other powers to create surprising and interesting effects. For instance, summon a doppelganger and link it to an enemy. Any damage you deal to your own doppelganger will be shared by linked enemies. That's fascinating. I wouldn't have thought to actually link my own shade, or the doppelganger with it. I'm assuming this just allows you to link more people. So it allows you to link 2 people together. This allows you to link 3 people together. And this allows you to link 4 people up together. That sounds like fun. Mesmerize. Summon a void spirit to enthrall humans or hounds. Mesmerize creates a void entity that captivates 2 humans or hounds, then removes their short-term memory. Only those mesmerized can see the summoned entity. Allies of those enthralled will notice their strange behavior and suspect a hostile presence in the area. Mesmerize will always enthrall the closest living target. Use it to avoid a group of enemies who will be unaware of what's happening around them, or use it in combat enthralling enemies and making them vulnerable to attacks. So, extend the duration. You could essentially use this to bypass some people. Just mesmerize them and get rid of their short-term memory and just kind of walk past a place that's challenging to get through stealthily. Throw up to 3 humans or canine targets and throw more people. And these should be enhancement abilities. So these are powers. These are active powers that use mana, and these affect just upgrade yourself. So increased strength. Distract enemies from a greater distance with sound by throwing an object, such as a bottle. So you can throw objects harder or faster. Yeah, throw objects further. This. Greater strength. Break down weak wooden doors with your sword. Wow. Warning, this is noisy. So this one would definitely be useful if you're just trying to be a terrorizing monster. Vitality. Increase your health and resilience. And then this one is health regeneration is improved. The portion of your health bar that regenerates is improved, and regeneration will occur faster. I don't really intend to fight too much, so that shouldn't be useful. Block to deflect projectiles. That's insanely useful! You can block bullets and arrows. Focused slide. Slow time while sliding and aiming a ranged weapon at an enemy. Wow. Superior deflection. Bullets and bolts that you parry are deflected towards your closest enemy. And then parry. Window of time for parrying is increased. Yeah, that's lazy. Snap reaction. Quick reflexes seem to slow time briefly when an enemy spots you. No, not really necessary. Increase your jump height and distance. That would be useful though. Sprint faster, take less falling damage. Bloodthirst. Build up adrenaline in combat, then trigger brutal melee fatalities. With this enhancement, your actions in combat allow you to build up adrenaline. Assassination, attacking with a sword, parrying, and drop assassinations all increase in adrenaline. Once you've built up your adrenaline, you can initiate a powerful sword attack that will kill an enemy with one blow. That's incredibly useful. Adrenaline burst. Replenish adrenaline automatically while not in combat up to half max. Nice. Greater bloodthirst. Kill multiple enemies within range. Whoa. Well-timed ranged weapon shot can be fired between two short sword swings. Enables a double adrenaline kill against multiple enemies within range. A well-timed ranged weapon shot can be fired between the two sword swings. Bone charms. So bone charms are kind of augmentations that you can find, and you can switch them out. You can only have so many on you at once. I think I can unlock more through this power. Craft your own unique bone charms with some chance of corruption. Craft your own bone charms by selecting a combination of mystical traits and expending raw whalebone as a resource. I'm assuming I'll get raw whalebone. Yeah, the runes and the bone charms are made out of whalebone. Trait effects are cumulative. If you use a trait more than once, its effect stacks, becoming stronger. Sometimes bone charms get corrupted during crafting, and will also have negative traits. Bone charms with 3 or 4 traits are more likely to be corrupted. Sacrifice bone charms to discover new traits and gain raw whalebone. Oh, interesting. So I can make my own tailored ones. Shadow Kill. This was incredibly useful in my first playthrough in Dishonored 1. Essentially, if you kill someone and assassinate them, they just turn to dust. Yeah, they turn to ash. So I would just kill people and they would go away. Later playthroughs, I actually was able to achieve total stealth and ghost. I got the ghost achievement. I was able to go through all the games without killing anyone. I wanted to get the merciful and ghost achievement, and I got it through the same playthrough. So I was able to get through and not kill anyone and not get detected. I accidentally also did the no additional powers one because I didn't even upgrade anything because I didn't need to. Blink was enough. And this upgrades to Greater Shadow Kill. Whenever in combat or unaware, all enemies turn into ash when killed, leaving no corpse behind. Turn unaware enemies into ash whether in combat. So this allows you to turn people into ash during combat. Transform enemies killed in combat into blood flies as they die. Into a cloud of blood flies that will attack nearby. That's gross. So yeah, I think pull objects would be a good one to get. Maybe save for Link or agility. I think I'm gonna buy agility first. Yeah. Increasing my jump height and distance is going to make parkour significantly easier. Yeah. Limited resource. It's not what you're used to living in a palace, but this is all the coin I could scrape up. Anti and I operated on a tight budget. And guess what? Now you do too. If it's not beneath you, you pick up whatever values you find along your way. You'll need ammo and resources to take down the people behind the coup. Hidden all over the city, there are underground black market shops. Look for a symbol depicting two hands, which means there's a shop nearby. Follow the signs, they'll guide you. Buying from the black market is against the law, but it could make the difference against the Duke's military. Sokolov was working on this crossbow as a gift for you. If you need it modified, those shops can help with that as well. Megan. Oh. Ooh. That is... What was my optional? Locate the black market shop. Yeah, I'll be doing that. Meet Megan Foster.
Those around you cannot see me. I am here and not here when you call to me.
Well, that's good, considering you're holding a dead person's heart in your hand with some whalebone attached to it and a bunch of gears inside. It's good that they can't see you. Because that's really creepy. Maintenance list. For things that got busted up in Anton's room when he was taken. It's been weeks now. Anton was taken. No, scratch that. Not until I bring him back home. It's a show of faith that he will be coming back. Unblock the storage door. Looks like something fell on the other side. I really need to sell this stuff locked up in there to make some coin, pay the port tax, and look the other way fees to those Grand Guard bastards. But they wonder who my passenger is this time. I'll do it when I get the money. Unblock the storage room door. No, storage room door. So, Megan's over there. She can wait. Door's blocked. Wonder if I could use power. Oh, so it is like Dishonored 1. So in the upper left, I have a red bar, which is my health, and a blue bar, which is my mana. When I use a spell, I use some mana. But if I don't use multiple spells in quick succession, I regenerate some of the mana used. And the default spell, which is what is that blink? What is this one called? Far Reach spell refunds all of my mana, but not all of them. So what's blocking the door? I wonder if I can just smash. Oh, that's right. There's also power attacks. Wow, really attack really quickly. So. You're there.
Must be cursed. Daft old man. This is some shit. Back to that city. What would we have done in the old days? All sharp metal and shadows, we'd say.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was the second in command to Dowd, who was the assassin from the first game. Where's my room? So we've gone to the southern city.
The jewel of the South. My father's birthplace.
We're in the water.
I heard a story once of a sailor caught forever in a fog. It traveled with her across all the seas. I am that sailor.